Some of the best days that you can have are days that you remember the band Maximum the Hormone exists. But to use the song that the way that they did in this chapter of Chainsaw Man was in one way brilliant, but also it makes me upset that we're probably going to have to wait nearly a decade until this chapter gets animated, and who knows if they can actually use the song when they do the anime someday, but that's besides the point. This chapter, first of all, let's take it back. Let's take it back to the beginning, okay? So Yoshida took Denji out to the movies in order to give him some experience of a normal life. Let's cut class, let's go see a movie, whatever. And it related to back when Denji saw the movie with Makima and just this idea of isolation, this idea of wanting to share experiences with somebody, and that you could have a really fun day and go to the movies and all of that stuff, but if there's nobody to share things with, you feel this sense of isolation. And if there's anything Denji has always strived for, it's to have that true, genuine connection with another person. So enter this character, this Asa Part 2, whoever this character is. I still don't think she was name dropped. Correct me if I'm wrong. But she looks strikingly like Asa, who Denji has already kind of had a bit of a thing for. And Yoshida brings this girl in to give Denji, well, a fun time, right? Like, you know, he's sort of like a pimp. Like, Yoshida is basically pimping her out. Like, go ahead and give Denji a fun time. And at the end of the last chapter, she just immediately grabs his cock, which in any other situation would probably be great, but Denji doesn't even know this chick, and also he's been burned so many times that who is he to think that this is even genuine or real? And I love that it took it in that direction, at least for a time being. At least for the very beginning of this chapter, Denji actually says a lot of things that are legitimately true and like some good introspective look at himself. He says that a girl approaching him and being so forward doesn't seem likely, it seems weird. And like, he gets it, you know what I mean? Like, he's finally in that place where he understands that this is sketchy, this is weird, there's something wrong with this, I don't like this. You would think that you would like this, but you don't. And yeah, girls don't normally make advances on guys like this, and especially not this overt, right? I always think like if a girl approached me in public and was like this forward about it, I would think two things. Number one, I'm on some kind of prank video like for TikTok or some shit, and somebody's filming it from the distance to try to get a reaction out of me. So I would think it was a prank, number one. Or number two, I would think that she's probably trying to lure me behind a back alley somewhere where like three dudes are going to jump me and mug me and, beat my ass basically. And that's kind of what happens here. So that just goes to show you that's a lesson for all of us men out there. If a woman is ever this forward with you, that you don't know, you know nothing about her, but she's like, hey, you want to have sex? It's a trap. Don't fall for it. It's not real. It's fake. Run away. Or, grab a baseball bat. And I love that Denji says this in the beginning of the chapter because I think he truly does believe this. Now, the joke, the twist that happens is hilarious. It's kind of awkward to look at, and it's like it's kind of like you want to hang your head in shame because the beginning of the chapter you're like, yes, Denji, that's right, you understand now, you understand that this isn't the way it should be, we understand that you want a genuine connection, we understand that this is really sketchy, that girls don't do this, especially not with you, right? So this is like a big, kind of shift for his character of his understanding based upon his experiences and just like observing the world around him. You're like, yes, Denji, you got this, bro. But then it shifts, and then you see Denji following and obeying exactly what she said. She said, go lick the little, octopus devil that was up there, and then he's like sucking on it like I think the image speaks for itself. It's supposed to be like an ice cream, but it looks like something else in a different kind of anime that you would find. And it's sort of like one of those things where you just want to be like, Denji, bro, like you were right there, like you had it, like you understood it. But I think that it's because Denji just lacks that self-confidence, right? I think he just got to that point, and he's probably just horny, right? Because he's probably thinking like, this isn't real, this isn't true, but what if it is? What if there's that 1% chance? And he's like, well, I mean, I guess if I could have sex today, why not just try, right? So it's like he begins to have this autonomy, he begins to have his boundary, he begins to have his ability to say no, but then he breaks, And I think that it's just a progression of his character, like, he'll get there, right? But I think that he realizes something is up with this. He's uncomfortable about the situation, but he goes along with the motions because, well, I guess we may as well just see what happens. And what happens is one of the weirdest things that I've seen in Chainsaw Man, and that's saying a lot because this is a manga that you can never expect anything that's going to happen ever. And I love that about it. And I think that's one of the reasons why I gravitate towards it, as opposed to like a lot of newer ongoing manga series, because I read a lot of older stuff, right? But a lot of the ongoing stuff, I just have a hard time connecting to and resonating with. But for some reason, Chainsaw Man just always gets me to laugh, and it always gets me invested. And I think one of the reasons for that is because Fujimoto is so unpredictable as a writer, and he can also blend this like deeply psychological stuff with also being so ridiculously funny. And I think that that's what he does well in general, but especially with this chapter, because you see this introspection from Denji, and then it shifts and you see him going back to just being a giant simp that he's always been. And it's really fucking funny, but then it's also a sense of like sadness that you see with it. You're just like, Denji, like you don't want to see it. Like, it makes you laugh your ass off, but you don't want to see it. And I think that just being able to write and toe that line is really, really impressive. And then it shifts to her taking him to karaoke, and she starts singing a song. And I wouldn't have known this unless somebody said it, because I've listened to Maximum the Hormone plenty of times. They also did the opening song for Death Note, you know. And I love Koi no Mega Lover is my favorite Maximum the Hormone song. Amazing. They are a great like metal pop band from Japan. They're fucking fantastic. But I probably wouldn't have known this unless somebody pointed it out. So I'm glad they did, because if you listen to the song is like choo choo lovey muni muni something. I don't know. It's in Japanese, but this is apparently what it is translated. So if you listen to the song while reading the chapter, when she starts singing in karaoke, it actually follows the flow of it pretty well. And when the song starts to go into like heavy metal mode, that's the moment where the people come in with the baseball bats, and you're just like, what the hell is going on? So she's singing like the poppy part in the beginning, and then when the screaming happens, the door flies open and people come in with baseball bats, and Denji's just like, what the fuck? And this is the part like I really didn't understand. I was like, who are all these people, and why are they coming in here to kill Denji? And then I'm thinking like, this chick has to be, I don't know if she's like the karaoke devil or something, but something is going on with this. And Denji just, he does his part. He defends himself, and he just like, he fucks a bunch of people up, and then you see him there with the bat, and he's like, why don't you just go into the second verse? It's like, he knows what's going on. Like, he knows that this chick is like trying to fuck with him at this point. Like, he knew that when the chapter began. He gave in a little bit, and then of course he goes back. He's like, yeah, I figured this was gonna happen. You know what I mean? I knew I wasn't getting my dick wet today. I knew it was too good to be true, because when something is too good to be true, it often is. But here we have to step back and think about the reason, right? Because Yoshida is the person that hooked Denji up with this chick. So what is Yoshida's intention here? Because he doesn't want Denji dead, because if he wanted Denji dead, he would have already done it. So I think this might be a test to see if Denji is resistant to turning into Chainsaw Man, to, put him in a dangerous or a physical situation where he has to defend himself, and see if he takes the transformation or not. That's my only guess. I really don't know. I have no idea what's going on, but it's awesome. And that's basically how I define Chainsaw Man. I don't know what's going on, but it's awesome. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think of this chapter of Chainsaw Man. Really let me know what you think of this chapter, because I really don't know. I don't know. But I'm going to listen to Maximum the Hormone now, because now they're in my mind, and I feel like I need to listen to them. Listen to this song. I'll link it down below. Match it up with the chapter. It makes sense. Also, listen to Koi no Mega Lover. That's their best song. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Give the video a thumbs up and a comment to help it out in the algorithm. It really does help out. I did really, really poorly this month on YouTube for views, so anything you could do to help me out, I really, really appreciate it. Also, there's the Patreon channel memberships, merch store, and all the social media links where you can follow me located down below. Also, if you're into Vinland Saga, I also just uploaded a review of that most recent chapter, so check that out. Other than that, guys, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll talk to you next time.